Hi everyone, my name is Midori and this is my channel. And I know I'm a little late to the dopamine menu game, but my latest challenge has been the endless scroll. So I thought it would be a good time to add in a dopamine menu or a dopamenu to hopefully help curb the amount of screen time that I've acquired in the past week. So yeah, a month ago I actually faced reality and looked at the numbers. I looked at my phone and looked at my screen time, and if I were to follow this same pattern week after week, in a year I would have spent a whole month scrolling on my phone, a whole month looking at other people's lives and not living my own. So that alone helped me drastically decrease my screen time. But I feel like this dopamine menu will still be a good tool to have to diversify what I automatically choose. So yeah, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my dopamine menu. So what is a dopamine menu or a dopa menu? I'll include a link to the video that I watched from How to ADHD's video. I highly recommend watching that one. But essentially we're creating different options that provide stimulation that our brains need to function. Unfortunately, the endless scroll may feel like it gives you the stimulation it needs, and it might at first, but when you're keeping pushing that button, you'll end up actually feeling really drained after. I don't think any of us choose to spend 3 hours scrolling on our phones every day. So, yeah, we want to create different options that give us that dopamine without feeling that emptiness. So, yeah, I highly encourage you to gear one towards your life and create one for you and what gives you that boost that you're looking for and that you need. So, here's my dopamine menu. And let's start. For the appetizers or the starters, we want to pick items that won't suck us in. So think about tasks that take 5 minutes or so. So you'll notice on my menu that I included cleaning tasks. I did that because I love a clean and organized home, but I hate the process. So I've included that to kind of give me some quick 5 minute tasks to do to help me stay on top of household chores. And then I also included journaling and having a cup of tea. I've included these in my morning routines and it really helps me start the day feeling good. So I think it's always good to start the day off right, and that helps me start my day. I've also included some movement. I think as someone that loves to move but doesn't prioritize movement, having like a quick dance break, like who doesn't love a quick dance break dancing to your favorite song? That's a perfect little 5 minute way to just give you that boost that you need. And then stretching. I sit, either I'm working on a crochet project or I'm working on a blog, and I'm sat. On to the entrees or the main. Think of activities that require more time and energy but give you a bigger dopamine release. I'm a woman of many interests, so this section was pretty enjoyable for me. I've swapped a lot of my scrolling with reading. It was a really easy swap for me because I'm picking up my phone anyway, but instead of scrolling on social media, I am reading my Kindle app. I have a lot of books that I want to read. I would love to eventually switch from my Kindle app to actual physical books because I've purchased many, many books and I haven't read them. So eventually I'll switch to that. A few of these activities I actually haven't done in a while, like watching a documentary, making jewelry, or learning a new skill. But I really want to do those things more, so I included those in this list here. I could actually make more time for organizing and decluttering. I live in an RV and it gets cluttered so quickly. So that one I could really do more of. And also, like the less stuff that's around me, it's a lot easier for me to focus when I am not in a cluttered environment. And I just function a whole lot easier. When my place is messy, it's really easy for things to get out of control, and then I just reach for that quick dopamine fix and I'll scroll a lot. So if my place is messy, I'm probably scrolling a lot more. So less stuff around me, the easier it is for me to focus. It's a lot easier for me to reach for healthier options. And the other ones I make time for each week. I can't go a whole day without my dog cuddles or spending time with my partner. That just doesn't happen. And then speaking of, I'll be making black bean and quinoa tacos tonight to enjoy with my partner once he gets off work. And I'm not cooking something new every week. It's probably like once a month, actually. I'll pretty much reach for things that I've already done. It's a lot easier when you're busy to cook things you've already cooked before. So that one probably only happens once a month. I love when you get to try something new, and I love sharing meals with people I love. And as far as, I think I forgot to mention, but going for a hike happens at least once a week. I live in Sedona, so how could you not go for a hike when you live in Sedona? And practicing yoga. I actually have been doing that every day for at least 5 minutes. I don't make it extensive. It's nothing like, I'm not doing an hour yoga class every day. That's just not happening. But I am intentionally getting on my yoga mat, doing 5 sun salutations at minimum. And that has helped me just feel so much better. I feel a lot less back pain and a lot less neck pain. And I definitely think it has to do with getting on my yoga mat every day. So that is awesome. All right, time for the sides. These are activities that are done in tandem with other activities. So for me, I have listening to music, crochet, and fidget toys. So the listening to music I do in tandem with yoga typically. It helps me get deeper into my body, and sometimes it's also like music that is helping my expression at the moment. Crocheting, I actually included it as a side rather than an entree because I typically crochet in tandem with either watching TV with my partner or listening to an audiobook, or sometimes I'll throw on a YouTube video. And so yes, so the crochet will always be in tandem with something. Maybe when I'm first learning a stitch, or once I continue working through the stitches, it's really easy for me to just do it in tandem with something else. So that is why that is there. And then lastly is a fidget toy. I don't know why it took me so long to get on board with this, because what I used to do when I was studying in school, I would sit there and I would just scratch at my scalp until I bled. So having this is a much less painful method. I wish I always remembered that I need this, because I'll be like working on something and I don't even notice that I'm doing it. And then I have blood under my fingernails. So yes, fidget toys, very important when I am studying or when I am really focused on working on something, or when I'm reading, I notice it. So fidget toy, great side. And I also forgot to put this, but kind of challenging yourself. You're facing a timer or something. So for example, I'm going to declutter for 30 minutes. And I'm gonna put the timer on, I'm gonna throw on some music, and I'm gonna declutter for 30 minutes. And I like to see how much I can get done in that 30 minutes. And it's like a little challenge, so it makes it a little bit more fun. All right, here we are, on to the desserts, the indulgent activities that make you feel kind of drained in excess, but are great in moderation. They should be treated like a treat. So for me, these activities are watching TV, scrolling on social media, video games. It's mostly scrolling on social media. Usually when I'm watching TV, it's with my partner and I'm spending quality time. And typically I'm crocheting, which is great because I can be like at the very end of the TV show, I can be like, oh my God, we finished that TV show and I finished this cute top. So I don't know, it just makes the dessert that much sweeter. Those are mine, and those are moderation activities. But the last one is these specials. I debated even adding these to my menu because when can I afford these in this economy? But I added them anyway. I decided to just, you know. I did add spa night, which is actually accessible, though it sounds like it isn't. I'm not going to the spa. I don't really pamper myself very much. And it's not that I don't want to, it's just that I don't consider my self-care outside of, my typical hygiene and washing my hair once a week. So that would be just, I don't know, doing my nails, doing a face mask, some fun stuff like that. So that's super accessible. Added that one in there as a lovely special. And that is it. So that is the dopamine menu. I hope that this encourages you to create your own. And if you do create your own, please let me know some of the items that you put into your dopamine menu. Add it to the comments. Also, Now that you've created your dopamine menu, make sure you put it somewhere that you see it every day. I've added mine to my phone screen, which I would show you, but I'm recording on my phone. And I'm also going to print it out and put it inside my planner because I open this every single day. So having it as my bookmark, I think, is a lovely idea. Put yours in multiple places, put it to your phone screen, wherever it is that you'll see it every day. And remember to look at the options that you've created instead of scrolling or watching TV or whatever your desserts are. So that is all. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. You have no idea how much and how far that like goes. And if you want to follow along on this journey with me, please hit subscribe. I am working towards a weekly posting. I don't know how long it'll take me to get there, but I'm really working towards it. So if you want to follow along, I will see you next week. And until then, peace.